So let's say I want to do a full reading record. So I'm going to go into Assessments. I'm going to press the plus sign at the top to add a new assessment. And I'm going to add a reading one. And it's a full reading record, detailed reading assessment. I type in the assessment title. So maybe this is called December full, like a full reading record. The subject's reading. I'm not going to put a value in. It's grade 1, and I can change the date. I'm going to leave it. And term 1. And actually, this would be term 2. So why don't I change it to term 2? And I'm going to leave everything else just like it is. I'm selecting all the students on the side there. They're all have X's, so that means they're all going to be included in this assessment. And I'm going to press Next at the top and choose my rating scale. I like the 3.1, so I'm going to keep that. And submit. So it creates my full December reading assessment. Now you'll see this is still a list, and it really only doesn't have all that much information. It looks the same as the quick reading assessment, where it just has the book title, the level, and then accuracy, fluency, comprehension. It doesn't give me all the information in a full reading record. That's because I had to press expand. This is just a quick way to kind of go through your list and get to the students. And then you press the expand button on the left-hand side here to see the full information. So I'm going to press the expand button right by Anita Bath. And it'll bring me to her full reading record. So you'll see right now the tab's on text info. And you'll see the date read. That's today's date. The reason date read is there is because there's a date, December 1st at the top right-hand corner, 2015. That is the date when the assessment was created, but maybe by the time you get to someone near the bottom of your list, that could be a while off of December 1st. So you would change this tier. You select this, and just select the the new date, whatever date it is. Let's keep it in 2015, and then just click outside. So you've got the date, the new date that they read. So I'm just going to click, this is unseen. Text title. Now I do have to have the text entered in this list. And this list is from a list of assessments in Nova Scotia. And so I've kind of entered these in here already, but I'm going to just click outside here, just in the green space maybe somewhere. You can edit the text list to create your own books or assessment pieces. So I'm going to click this edit text button, edit text list, sorry. And these are all the texts I have in there right now. And you can see it has the title, the level, the genre, and the word count. So to add another one, I'm just going to press plus at the top. Plus is always to add a new. And I'm just going to click at the top here in book title and type in the title. And I'll call this Van Tassel book. Just pretend. And level or stage, I can use early emergent, fluent, that sort of thing, or numbers, or letters, or edit values at the bottom as you can create your own and get rid of that stuff. So I'm just going to say it's a level 13, and the genre is fiction. Again, you can, if you don't want fiction or nonfiction, I don't know if you want to be more specific, you can click edit values and type your own in. I'll just show you what that would look like. So you just press return and like this and type in a new value, and then it would be show up in the list from now on. So I'm just going to save that. I'm just going to keep it. And I'm going to keep, this is fiction, like I said, and word count. I put in the word count. Let's say there was 301 or something. Okay. And then once that's entered, I just press back, or I press plus to add a new one, and so on. I'm just going to press back. Now from now on, if I was testing any students, this text will come up in the list. So I can just go down here and you'll see Van Tassel, it's alphabetical order, Van Tassel book. So as soon as I choose that, it puts the word count in, the level, the genre, and that they'll help in the calculations for later on. So anyone else I'm testing with this book, um, it'll be a lot faster than what we just did. So now I'm going to go to accuracy. And, or actually, no, normally what I'm doing right now is I record them reading to me. So I press this plus button down here, and I usually just do audio, and I get them to start. So they read to me. And when they're finished reading, I just save this. It saves the audio recording. And then I get them, they're allowed to read the text twice for comprehension. So they read it to me once right now, and I'm really going to evaluate their accuracy and fluency on this. Then they're going to read it again. I get them to read it again in their head and tell them I'm going to ask them some comprehension questions, like to retell it, and I'll give them a few questions. So while they're reading it in their head, I just go to accuracy, and I go and kind of fill this out. I count up their errors. Let's say they made 5, and you'll see as soon as I click out of that, it says it was 98%, so it was independent. Number of self-corrects, let's say there was 2, and then it just does the rate, 1 out of 4, 1 to 4. And then I meaning cues. I just say, did they generally use meaning? Are the cues used? Did they use meaning? Yes. A syntax? Yes. Maybe visual they weren't as strong with, so I might put some. That might be something they're going to work on as the visual cues. So uses pictures and diagrams. I'll put yes. So over here, there's a whole bunch of choices here. Uses initial sound. Well, I said they're not really using the visual that much, so I'm going to say maybe they are using the initial, but they're just not looking through the word. So I still might say yes on this, but maybe seeing words in chunks, the next one, I might put no. Okay. Now, you don't have to use these items. You can just click on any of the pencils beside the line here, and then I can just click in here and back that out and type in whatever I want, and that will be what I evaluate for everybody from now on in this list. So it changes it. But take note though, it'll also change any previous ones. So you want to kind of get this set to how you want it, so that and then it'll be consistent for everybody. So you can change these to whatever you want to reflect how you assess. And then after I've done all that, I don't do them all. I just might do that. So I might just stop right there and go to overall rating, and I'll say overall. I'm going to say on their way. They were independent. They did get 98%, but I'm a little concerned with just how the visual information that they're using. So then I'm going to go to fluency and expression. So we would basically rate expression, phrasing, and rate here. Now there's these values here, but again, you can edit these values by clicking edit and just backing these out and putting in whatever you want. Okay, I'm just going to cancel that, and I'm going to use the ones that I've got here. Oops, I'll click back in, and I'm going to say they were 3, some smooth expressive interpretation, and so they were meeting. Oh, that was. And for phrasing, I'm going to give them a 3 again. Primarily reads in 3 or 4 word phrases. I'll say they're meeting again. And their rate, I'm going to say the rate was good too. I'll give another 3. And meeting. And overall, I'm going to say they got this. Okay. And then I'm going to just move up by going over on the right hand side where the green is, so I can scroll kind of up to the top. Now normally they're kind of done by now, and then I ask them to kind of retell the story, and I'll ask them a few comprehension questions, and then I'll fill this part out. Unaided retelling, I'll say they were partial. And retells main ideas in logical sequence, I'll say partial again. They're kind of weak on there, especially the supporting details. Maybe I'll put limited on that. So I could kind of fill through these. Again, I can edit these by going to those pencils or add different ones to the bottom where there's blank lines. Overall, I'm going to say they're kind of beginning on this. I'm going to say they're pretty weak. And you'll notice at the top here, accuracy, yellow, fluency, green, comprehension, red. It's a quick indicator with those colors how they're doing. And then I'm going to go to comment, the next one. And I'm typing a quick comment here. And I can type in whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to write something in. So I have my nice little comment. Ooh, and put Johnny in. And poor old Johnny. And then overall, I can ask the student how they think they did overall. I'm going to say they thought they were, okay with it. And I'm going to say overall, I don't know. I'm going to say on your way as well overall. And future instructional focus. Well, based on what I said, I'm going to say basically it's visual info is what they're going to, or cues, whatever you want to, however you want to say it, and then definitely comprehension. And maybe I'll start with just the retelling in sequential order first, because that's a slightly easier thing than maybe getting all the supporting details in. So I'm going to put sequential order. Whoa, sequential. Okay, sequential order. And then I'm basically all done with that student now. So I want to go back to the list of students to maybe do the next student in the list. I'm going to go to the little arrow that says shrink over on the left-hand side. Shrink. And it just shrinks up the list. And you can see Anita Bath read the Van Tassel book. And this is a quick look at how she did. And then if I want to go to a new student, I just press the expand button. Let's see on Eager Beaver. I press the expand. And I do an assessment on that student.